Bonjour, bienvenue. Welcome to Imparfait, partie 2. Today we're going to continue talking about the imparfait and some of the irregulars that we will find in this tense. Révisons juste un peu. So to review just a little bit, we know that the imparfait translates in English to used to verb, was or were verbing, or would verb, and it is used to describe people or things as they were or used to be, conditions such as setting the scene, and past actions that took place regularly or repeatedly. And you can go back to Imparfait partie 1 to review a little bit more of when we use the imparfait. La formation. We remember that there are 3 steps to forming the imparfait. We need to conjugate the verb in the present tense new form. So, for example, parler will change to parlons. Find the stem by taking off the ONS. So, parlons will become parle. And then we add the appropriate endings, and here are all 6 of our endings. So, for je et, tu es, il est, nous y, vous y, ils y. We also know that there are some verbs that have special spelling changes. So for GER verbs, such as manger, we're going to find the new form, and in the present tense we remember that we have to add this pesky E for pronunciation purposes. So nous mangeons. When we find our stem, we're going to take off our extra E and our ONS, because the E is really only there for pronunciation, so it becomes mange. And then we add our endings. And it is important to remember that the vowels A, O, and U will create a hard sound for G and C, and E and I will create a soft sound. So if we're trying to get to a soft sound, like manger, yeah, when we add the ending AIS, we have to add that E for pronunciation. So it is manger. Yeah? Tu manger. Again, we're going to have to add that E for pronunciation because it's followed by the A. And il mangeait avec eux. Yeah? Cependant, however, nous and vous will not need to add the E because the I will already make the G a soft sound. Nous mangions, vous mangiez, il mangeait. Again, we have to add that E for pronunciation because that A would make the G a hard sound. CER verbs have the same issue, right? So for example, commencer, this at the end, we want it to be a soft sound. So our new form is nous commençons. When we take off the ONS, we only need to add the cedilla for pronunciation. So when we add our endings, again remembering that the A, O, and U make it a hard sound, je commençais, we need to add the cedilla, je commençais. Tu commençais, again we have to add that cedilla. Il commençait, avec cedille. However, nous commencions, we don't need the cedilla because the I already makes the C a soft sound. Vous commenciez, il commençait, we will need to add that cedilla because the A would have made it a hard sound. Irregular verbs in the present tense follow the same 3 steps. Woo. So, let's see a couple of examples. Prendre is an irregular present tense verb. Step number 1 is we find the new form, nous prenons. 2, we take off the ONS, prendre. And then we add our endings. Je prenais, I used to take. Tu prenais, you would take. Il prenait, he was taking. Nous prenions, vous preniez, il prenait. Croire is also an irregular present tense verb. Step number 1, we find our new form, nous croyons. Take off our ONS, and then add our endings. Je croyais, tu croyais, il croyait. Nous croyions, we used to believe. Vous croyiez, you were believing. Ils croyaient, they would believe. Faire is also irregular in the present tense. Nous faisons, take off the ONS, and then add our endings. Je faisais, tu faisais, il faisait. nous faisions, vous faisiez, il faisait. There is one irregular verb, and it is être. Always être. For être, we are going to skip step 1 because the new form does not have an ONS. Our stem is it, and then we add the same endings. J'étais, I was. Tu étais, you were being. Il était, he would be. Nous étions, vous étiez, ils étaient. There are 3 verbs that we know that don't have a new form. And for these verbs with no new form, they're kind of like être in that they just have a stem, but they have one ending. So for example, the verb falloir, we know that it has one form. It is always conjugated with il, because it is always it is necessary. Il faut in the present tense. Because there's not a new form, we just have to remember its stem is fal, and we always add the same ending because it's only ever conjugated in the il singulier. Il fallait. So saying it was necessary. Il fallait. Neiger, to snow, also does not have a new form because we cannot snow. We just have to remember its stem is neige with the e for pronunciation, and then we add our one ending. Il neigeait, it was snowing. Pleuvoir, the same thing, to rain. It is one form, so our stem is pleuve, and then we add our ending. Il pleuvait, it was raining. Pratiquons. So let's practice. You can press pause, go through, and write down your answers to each of these, so complete each sentence with the correct imparfait of the verb in parentheses. Come back and press play, and we'll go through the answers together. Point numéro 1, le verbe c'est ranger. Ranger is a GER verb. Mon frère et moi, nous rangions toujours notre chambre. Nous rangions. We do not have an extra E because the I will make the G a soft sound. Mon frère et moi, nous rangions toujours notre chambre. My brother and I, we used to always clean our room. 2. Agacer. Agacer is to annoy. It is a CER verb. Ton petit frère t'agacer. For our third person singular, we're going to have to add that cedille for pronunciation purposes. Ton petit frère t'agacer. Your little brother used to bug you. 3. Aller. Irregular in the present tense, but it is regular for imparfait. Les amis allaient souvent à la plage. The friends used to go often to the beach. 4. Vouloir. Our new form is voulons. Take off the ONS. Moi, je voulais une poupée pour Noël. Me, I wanted or I was wanting a doll for Christmas. 5. Nous mettons. Take off our ONS. Tu mettais la table tous les soirs? Did you used to set the table every evening? 6. Traire is to milk cows, and its new form is nous trayons, just like croire. Mon grand-père trayait les vaches tous les matins. My grandfather used to milk the cows every morning. A 7. Être is our one irregular verb. Étiez-vous gentil? Were you nice? Merci bien. Thank you for watching through the second part of the Imparfait. We've finally finished all of the Imparfait. It's a pretty simple tense. Merci bien et au revoir.